Hello. This is your host, C. Jackson Paul, live from the Eternal Gems Studio. Welcome to 18 Entrepreneurs Crash Course at Life, where we learn the tools that will let you build the life that you deserve. Recently, we made a video on marketing, which, despite being twice as long as usual, did not cover everything I felt like I wanted to. Thus, I decided to make a part 2 video, which will focus exclusively on the fourth P of promotion. If you haven't checked out the first video, I would encourage you to do so. But today, we are going to dive deeper into an idea I touched on at the end of that video. I said at the end of the first video that all of marketing is about making a connection, and about how the 4 Ps work together to create the potential for a connection. But creating the optimal environment for a connection is useless if you fail to actually connect. So, today, we will learn the basics of how to actually make sales. 2 notes before we continue. First, we already made a video about the idea of connections, but that one focused more on connecting with your industry peers, whereas today we will focus on connecting with your customers. With that said, there is a lot of overlap between the videos, so if this sounds familiar, that is why. Second, these tactics will only work if you already have a sound marketing strategy. If you ignore the 4 Ps of marketing, if you have a terrible product at too high a price with bad advertising aimed at the wrong market, then this video won't save you. First, you need to get the fundamentals of marketing down, and then you can build off of that base by making connections. So, how do you make these connections? Here are 5 tips to connect with your customer, and help you boost your sales. Tip number 1, find common ground. The way to create the potential for a connection is by finding a point for connection, which is what is called common ground. If circumstances allow, then it often helps to make the common ground something related to the product. Like this.
I know what you mean, my kid always spills her juice on the ground as well. That frustration is actually why I went into the vacuum business.
Really? I've always found that vacuums are bad at cleaning up these messes.
Same, which is why I worked to create a vacuum that would actually work for my family.
See what Cassie did there. First, her overall marketing strategy followed the 4 Ps. She had a product that solved a problem, and knew the market, or place, she wanted to target. So when she had the opportunity to connect with another fellow parent over common ground, she was able to take it. But the connection doesn't have to be about the product, it can be about weather or traffic or really anything. So long as you can find common ground, you have the foundation for a connection. Tip number 2, treat everyone as if they are the most important customer you have. Whenever you have a new potential customer, you should give them your all. First of all, whatever sort of day you are having, leave that all at the door. Treat them with respect and friendliness. It is much easier to begin to forge a connection with a potential customer if you are being nice to them, as opposed to the reverse. Even if you don't always feel like it. Believe me, I know that customers can be annoying sometimes, but by not letting anything they do get to you, you can eventually put them at ease, and then you will have a shot at making a connection. Everyone has bad days, and if you treat your customers with charity, and assume that they are having a bad day rather than just being jerks, then you will be a lot more successful. Tip number 3, don't be shady. There is a stereotype of the slick salesman, the charismatic smooth talker who gets the customer to buy a $10,000 mattress before they know what hit them. While this sort of person will often get short-term success, this comes at the expense of the long-term health of the business. That is because customers can tell, in hindsight at least, when they were being unduly pressured, and if customers feel like something is being pulled over on them, they won't come back, and will complain, both in the community and online, that your business is tricky and should be avoided. Enough of this, and your customer base will suffer. That is why you should avoid any psychological tricks that will get a customer to buy your product, because eventually the effect of these tricks wear off, and then the customer is left with regret for a product they presumably didn't need, and wouldn't have bought had they not been pressured. But making a connections is different, because, while you are still appealing to their emotional brain, more so than their rational one, you are making them want to get the product, and any regret for the purchase will fall on themselves, since, after all, they are the ones who chose to buy the product, while you were just there being super nice and answering all their questions. Of course, if customers frequently regret buying your product, then it is possibly time to rethink your business in general, but that is not the doing of the sales department. Tip number 4, know your product inside and out. In order to make a good sale and maintain long-term satisfaction, you need to help the customer get the particular product that fits their needs. Now, if your business is going to be successful, then your product already solves a problem and thus has a built-in need to solve. But you need to be able to explain to the customer that it fulfills this need, as well as how and why it does so, and which particular product of yours is best for them. If you are able to use your knowledge of the product to help the customer, not only do you strengthen the connection by continuing to interact with them, but you also appear, and are, helpful to the customer, which increases their feeling of goodwill towards you, boosting the connection. Tip number 5, be patient. Sometimes the customer is not immediately ready to buy your product, or sometimes the first few customers won't be interested in you at all. This can be really frustrating. I know what that can be like, but I urge you to be patient. If you have a good product that will really help people, and if you have a sound marketing strategy that uses the 4 Ps, then you will get sales. It may take a while, but they will come. On the other hand, if you lose patience, you hurt only yourself. If you push a customer into a sale they weren't ready for yet, then you risk jeopardizing the sale entirely, and if you get frustrated with customers because no one is buying from you, they will sense this frustration, and this will impair the connection. Now that we have seen today's 5 tips, let's see them in action. Cassie is going to try and sell her vacuums, which she designed especially to clean up messes made by children, to Rajiv. Let's see how she makes use of our tips.
I know what you mean, my kid always spills her juice on the ground as well. That frustration is actually why I went into the vacuum business.
Really? I've always found that vacuums are bad at cleaning up these messes.
Same, which is why I worked to create a vacuum that would actually work for my family.
Really? Can you tell me more about this product? How is it better for us than all the other vacuums on the market?
Certainly. What makes our vacuum unique is that it uses positrons to break up sticky messes, and thus can suck up 500% more goo than our leading competitor. This makes it perfect for families with young children.
That is really interesting. Tell you what, it's a bit expensive, so I'm going to go home and sleep on it, but I'll be back tomorrow.
Alright, take all of the time you need. I look forward to seeing you soon.
As you can see, Cassie is friendly, knowledgeable, approachable, and avoids losing her temper or resorting to pressure when Rajiv leaves. If you can learn to sell a product like Cassie, you will be on the road to achieving your dreams in no time. Everyone has dreams in life, and we at Eternal Gems want to help you live up to your full potential. Check out our website and social media, linked below in the description, leave your thoughts down in the comments, and stay tuned for more videos.